Diggs, fastball, ground ball, hit to Cleveland. He'll field it, throw to first base. That'll do it. Next stop for the Wildcats is going to be Enid, Oklahoma. The Wildcats will capture the Region XXIII championship with a dog pile. The Wildcats on their way to the World Series.
In the World Series, that was my first one last night, but if I was a guessing man, I don't think any of them are going to be easy, and I think you're going to have to earn each one of them. And
showed last night was, I mean, it was special. It was special to be able to do that in that moment.
Well, you know, you don't really know how many chances you're going to get to play in a World Series, and you got to take advantage of every opportunity you get, and that's what I've been telling these guys is enjoy it, you know, have fun, because you never really know when you're going to come back. And
you know, it's what I've worked my whole career for, and it's something that, you know, when you finally do it, and it just takes a while to sink in, and I'm still not sure, 100% sure that it's sunk in. I understand how tough this is, and I understand, you know, that I'm blessed to be here as a coach of Pearl River, and I understand it's a, you know, somebody's got a hand in this, you know, that's way bigger than me, and so I'm very fortunate and thankful. But you know, being here, it just makes me think about all the players that I've coached throughout my career, not just these guys, but all the guys. You know, the amazing thing is, you know, I got on the bus last night, looked at my phone, I had 104 text messages, and that's from alumni across, you know, that some of them I've never met before. You know, I got a text message from Mr. Dub and Miss Donna, and they're excited and they're watching. And
before, how'd we get here? Guys, you got here a long time ago. The very first group that I coached at Pearl River helped us get here. As he put it in his interview, he said he wasn't missing this World Series because all the work we've done over the last 3 years. He didn't say the last 6 months. He didn't say the last 9 months. He didn't say the last 10 months. He said the last 3 years. That's what a program's about. You get me?
Exactly.
It's not just about you. It's much bigger than you. You're playing for Noah Nico. You're playing for Parker Dungan. You're playing for Mo Landry. You're playing for all those guys that played before you.
The one thing we tried to do is just keep it the way we do it, and that's something we talked to. You know, what got us here is what gives us a chance to win here, and that's the way we do things. And so, as far as the travel part of it, we travel exactly the same way. We just have extended it a while, and you know, we just reminded them, hey, we plan on washing clothes a bunch up there, and so we made sure we brought extra laundry detergent and laundry bags. And
I've been very fortunate, obviously, as an assistant coach and the recruiting coordinator here, is just to have a boss that trusts me and you know, trust what I see and trust how I feel about certain players. And you know, I think the biggest thing for us in the recruiting process has been recruiting makeup and character. You know, we started 3 years ago doing this, and in every recruiting visit I've had with the parents and the kid, I've told them, you know, at the end of the day, it's not always about the most talented kid. It's about the kid that's got the right makeup and character that's going to represent this program and their family on and off the field. And we've got the right kids. You know, we got the right kids. I tell the parents all the time, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, and you're starting to see that, you know, especially out here in Eden when these parents have traveled all this way to see their kids. You know, it's really special, and the support. And I felt like in the recruiting process, you know, 2 years ago with this sophomore group we have right now, I you know, mentioned to them in the recruiting process, hey, we're gonna go to Oklahoma. We're gonna play for a national championship. You know, while y'all are here, if you decide to jump on this train, and luckily they did, and we've had some really good people get on board, and you know, we're here. So hopefully we keep this thing going.
One of the things I want to mention is just that, you know, when we turfed our infield, a lot of people may be skeptical of that and say, well, are you know, that's not natural, that's not tradition. And it's not. Well, guess what? The game's changed. The game changes every day. The World Series baseball field that we're playing on here in Enid, Oklahoma, which is a beautiful facility, it's a turf infield. And so when the administration said, hey, let's turf the infield, it was a no-brainer for me. If we're going to play at the biggest level and the highest level for a national championship, well, we can play a conference game in Poplarville, Mississippi on the same thing. I mentioned that because I think that's helped us. And I knew when we got to this point, defensively throughout the year, we've had some miscues and we've had some struggles. We definitely play better on turf and at home. And so I knew coming in, our confidence was going to be very high there. Obviously, we got to keep it up, and we can't relax and think we've got it.
You always hear that whoever wins the MAC check has a legitimate chance to go up to the World Series and bring it back home. Well, going up there, I mean, that was all our mindsets, because we know for a fact that the way we get pushed here, it's just a different work ethic than you would see anywhere else in Mississippi. And going up there, we had all the confidence in the world. stopped and practiced each day at these different places, and in each day we still took it just as serious as we would a normal day of practice here, because I mean that's the kind of standard our coaches hold us to.
They've answered that question, that they want it, because they're very talented. If they want it, we're going to have a chance to play for it, I feel like.
The one thing that's helped us out a lot this year is obviously our depth. You got to have depth in the bullpen. You got to have depth offensively. You got to have depth at the position player area to get here. I mean, there's a lot of really good clubs here. There's a lot of really good clubs in our league. And that's the one thing that's helped us along the way is we got a lot of guys we can count on. And that's between Coach Allen and myself, communicating. You got to win the first game and whatever you got to do. But obviously you're trying to save some pitching moving forward throughout a tournament because you could potentially have 5 games in 4 days, and you got to be able to have enough arms to get you there.
Guys, understand this. Y'all hear me, look at me, listen to me. When you're playing at this level right now, and you're playing for a championship, what we're about to go over, that can be the difference in us being a national champion and not. That's how important it is. If we mess this up, it's a close game. We can't afford to mess it up. You have to lock in, and you have to get better right now and make sure that you're prepared to go tomorrow. Got me?
Exactly.
All right, let's break it down.
How about it?
I'm going to get it deep.
Hey, Dion3, 1, 2, 3.
We were happy we were there, but we were just ready to play. I mean, that's the whole reason that we're there. And I mean, everything felt normal then, just felt like normal days of practice until we actually put our cleats on and, step at third base before we take in and out, and then it kind of hits you, and the butterflies in your stomach start going crazy, and like, it was just, I can't explain it. Like, it was unreal.
I think it was more of what I expected. I knew they were going to be hyped up and ready to go, so I wasn't going to question that. I just think it took them a little bit of time to get adjusted to the field and the backdrop, and we haven't hit live in a few days, and so baseball is such a repetition game that if you take a certain amount of time off, it can be tough to regain momentum like we had in the regional. And just like in the regional first game against Jones, we kind of struggled a little bit offensively, and then later on we kind of picked it up and held our own against those guys, and so I'm anticipating that's what's going to happen. Same thing in the World Series,
I know they were nervous. I know they were anxious. I know they were excited. So was I. And so when you feel that as a coach, you have to know even that younger guy is feeling those same emotions, and I hope they are. One of the things about nerves that I think's really important is that just tells me they care and that they're invested and that they want to do well.
We kind of got the jitters out, I guess you could say, for being in the World Series, and we figured that we would just get better and better and just get it rolling again like we had it rolling in the regional.
And nobody played as good as they could. Got me? And I expected that. We did the same thing against Jones, right? In the regional. It's the same game. All right, the bottom line is you got the first one under your belt. All right, tomorrow night, I'm just telling you, it's going to be fun. And we got to be ready for it. And this has to get us better for tomorrow. Well, game 2, we played Enid, Oklahoma, and I was real impressed with the atmosphere. Obviously that atmosphere was not in our favor. And we talked about that before the game. We felt like playing Enid at their home stadium, it was kind of us against everybody. And, I even told the guy from the NJCAA, I said, man, I know this is probably a group that's more in favor of the other team than our team. I said, but I love playing in something like this. This is a World Series, and this is the atmosphere that you want in a World Series game, whether it's for you, against you, whatever. For our guys to get to go out there and play against a team like that in front of almost 3,500 folks, however many folks were there, just the atmosphere was electric. And that to me is what makes the World Series special. I don't know of any other stage that these guys could have played on that was as big as that one.
We got a good crowd here as well, and our fans are loud and like to get into it, so which will be good. It'll be fun. I think the guys, they're going to accept the challenge and they're going to be ready to play, and I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be fun.
Well, see, the thing was all throughout the games, like players were picking up players. I mean, I've even came in and I actually think the second game against Enid, Oklahoma, I think I had like 2 strikeouts, which is kind of not really me, but, I came in, Coach Avalon didn't fuss or anything. He just said, hey, you're not you. You're not Matt Taylor. And after he tried to pick me up, all the way through the line, like all down the dugout, my teammates, they said, hey, we believe in you. Wouldn't be here without you. So, I mean, that's just a kind of reminder just to go to show you, like, when you're not in the game, you're still in the game. Because, like, that little bit, like, of your teammates picking you up, like, really makes a difference.
But I thought we competed. I thought we played hard. I didn't think the situation was too big for us. We didn't lose because the atmosphere of the stage was too big. We got beat by a team that just outplayed us that night, and we didn't make enough plays. And so I was very proud of the way we played. I just wish we could have. I wish we could have made a couple more plays, a couple more pitches.
I can promise you there's nobody that wanted to be in that situation more than me, because like you said, that's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. And before I went up to the plate, Coach Avalon, he said, I love you. He said, have fun and be Matt Taylor. And, as soon as I hit it, I knew it wasn't gone, but, like, I thought it was getting down. And, credit to the guy, he made a good play, and, I mean, it just wasn't meant to be. But it was still to kind of be cool in that situation, and, like, just to be able to be in that opportunity.
When we lost that game, just the vibes weren't very good, and you can't play baseball like that. You have to stay positive and have everybody on the same page.
No matter what, you still got to wake up and play again the next day. You can't because when we finished that game, it was super, super late by the time we got back to the hotel room. And I was like, guys, honestly, it's already the next day. So, we might as well leave that game where it was. We got to wake up tomorrow and play this team like we didn't play them before. Because actually the team we played Game 3 was the team that we played Game 1. And, we knew they were going to come in with their backs against the wall because we both now had a loss. So I tried to just tell them, no matter what, we just got to fire every bullet we have, and hopefully in the end it'll all work out.
And we knew that we were made for coming through the losers bracket. We had plenty of pitching, and our workouts, prepare us for having to play maybe 2 games in one day or whatever it may be. So we were fine at that point. We felt like we were going to come all the way through the losers bracket and win it.
Well, obviously, we knew that game was a must-win game. We knew it was going to be a little tougher than the first game. The thing that I thought was most difficult about Game 3 was just the timing. That's part of that tournament. That's what makes this tournament so tough. Is that we played a really emotional, high atmosphere game the night before against a really good team. We came up short. I think we got done at 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, whatever time it was, got back, tried to get something to eat, and then we turned around and had to be ready to play at 1 o'clock. That's not an excuse. That's part of the World Series. I think in the long run of that game, I think that's something that affected us. I don't think we stayed as sharp and as fresh as we could have been.
The game started rewinding the opposite way. It's like we get up 12-3, and now it's like the other team's about to score 12 unanswered runs against us. It's something like I've never experienced before, especially on the opposite side. I can honestly say I've had it happen for us in a positive way a bunch. We've scored a bunch of runs in a shorter period amount of time, but us being on the opposite side of it is a totally different feeling. It feels like no matter what you try to do, you just can't stop it from happening.
I remember going into I think it was the bottom of the ninth, and it was 8-12, and I still wasn't worried. Like I said, we've been through it all year, and I really didn't start to worry, till bases were loaded. But I really don't. I hate thinking about it.
We had, I guess it was 1 out maybe, and they had runners on second and third. The guy on second, he can't score. That was when it really, really hit me.
The players showed up. They played hard. I was real proud of them. There were some decisions. If I could go back and change things, I definitely would. I learned a lot myself as a head coach of this program. I'd never been there before. Never coached in that type of tournament, and so there was a lot I learned that day. Unfortunately, we didn't make the plays, and I didn't make the best decisions throughout that game. I think I said after the game that we're a better team than what we showed today, and I truly believe that. A lot of credit to Pasco. They played hard and they made the plays and they got the big hit. But my personal opinion, if you look at our team compared to theirs, I'll take our team any day of the week. And so therefore, when we struggle and we didn't get it done, then that ultimately falls on my shoulders, and I accept that. And that's something I want those players to understand is, you know, they played their hearts out. They played hard. Could they have played better? Sure, we could have. But it always starts, you know, I'm always going to make sure it starts with me. There's things I could have done better. But that'll also motivate me to make sure we do things different as we move forward. And that's what I asked the players after the game is, you know, learn from this and, you know, use these experiences in life and know that we compare the game of baseball to life all the time. You know, in order to win in life, there's some tough times that you have to go through, and that's part of it. Nothing's going to be a World Series win every day. That's just not how this game of life works. And so you're going to deal with struggles, you're going to deal with failures. You got to accept them, and you got to move on from them. But ultimately, you have to learn from them.
When it was over, it just didn't seem like it was over. You know, there really wasn't a whole lot to say. Everybody was kind of shocked, I guess you could say, but for the most part, there wasn't much to say because nothing had really set into us yet because everybody expected to win it.
I couldn't even fathom the talking about it after it happened. And I knew once we got over there, it was just going to be a total downward spiral because, I mean, nobody, me personally, I feel like nobody in that stadium expected for that to happen. And once we got to talking to Coach Abbey, I mean, it was just an outpour of emotion from every single person who wears the maroon and gold. And yeah, I guess that's about it.
At no time did I or one of the coaches or even any of the players think that was going to be our last game together. You know, and I think that's a credit to our belief in our program and our teammates, our brothers, our coaching staff, and our season. So, you know, as a coach, you have to be careful, I think, in those emotional moments to make sure that you try to say the right things. And so I didn't say a whole lot because I wasn't prepared for that situation. But after, you know, leaving the game, and it was very emotional, you know, anytime you tell those sophomores goodbye, you know, it's a tough time. And it's something that, for me personally, you know, I tell people all the time, I've got 3 children, but I've also got 30 during the year from August till June that are mine too. And that's what I truly feel about them. I care about them, I love them, and they mean the world to me. And so when you've coached those guys for 2+ years and you got to tell them goodbye all of a sudden, it's just shocking, you know, and it's just tough to handle. But what I did was, you know, we hugged and kind of said our goodbyes there on the baseball field, like all teams do in that emotional moment. And then we went back to the hotel and we showered and we got on the bus, headed home. And before we got on the bus, one of the things that I wanted to leave them with more so than anything was, there's no way we're going to let this last game define our season.
I thought about the last 2 years over the course of my playing here and thought about all the things that we've done so far as a team, and I was just like, I mean, we honestly have nothing to be sad about because, I mean, in the past 2 years, we've pretty much been ahead of the state in Mississippi of baseball for most categories. I mean, we led the state in home runs this year. We won a state championship last year, and this year we win the regional and we go to the World Series. I mean, I know for a fact no 2 teams in Mississippi can say that. There's only one, and it was here at Pearl River.
A lot of people get to spend 2 great years here, but I actually was fortunate enough to spend 3 due to me redshirting, and you know, it just really hit me when I stepped off the field, and it really hit me when I hugged Ryan Barnes, because I had been with Ryan. You know, he got here the same year, my freshman year, and we've been together 3 years, and I'm not gonna lie, when I hugged him, we busted out in tears. And I told him, I said, you're my brother and I always love you. And Coach Is and Coach Abbey, I told him, thank you for taking a chance on me, and I owe y'all everything. So it was pretty cool, but it was sad, but it was pretty cool. I mean, we still got to make it that far, and the journey we've been on and the climb we've actually made, and actually be able to see this place grow. It is something special.
You look at our route to get to the World Series, we knocked off, 5 of the top 20 teams in the country in our regional, which is, I don't know if any other team in the country could have done that except for us. And that's something pretty special that we were able to do. And then we got to the World Series, and could we have played better? Absolutely. But the fact that we got there just speaks volumes of the year that we had. That's what ultimately, in 10 or 20 years when we have these reunions, they're going to come back and be the World Series team that was the Region XXIII champs. And that's something that'll stick. They made history. And through that, they're going to live for eternity as the 2019 World Series team.
Going to the World Series and winning the regional, winning the state last year, it was fun and stuff, but it was just the people and the friends that you make along the way and the guys that you get to do it with. There's really no words that you can't put it into words.
Yeah, Pearl River will always be my home. So.
We out here with Day Lingle, right here, Region, Mobile, Alabama, Lake, Mississippi. Got Trent Lee, Picayune, Mississippi. Kay Hodges, he's from the Brookhaven area.
with a slow bouncer. It's going to be played by the first baseman who flips to Miles Smith, who reaches. Swung on, grounded to short. Grab, throw over to first. There to get the runner to move. A 1-2 pitch. Beautiful pitch, and Barry. Curveball swung on, one hopper caught. Throw to second, and they got him. They basically lays down a bunt, and a beautiful bunt down the line. Nothing they could do. You couldn't ask.
Donaldson.
Swung on and popped foul down the first base line, and a nice snag off the turf by the coach.
Here's a swing, pop up left side. Could be playable. Shortstop giving chase. Cleveland in foul ground, and he runs it down for the third out.
Well, he would have my bat.
Good news for Haydek. That was only one swing. But he takes a look at a good overhand curve by Miles Smith for strike 3. Field areas of dirt that the players have been stepping in. Here's a swing. 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball swung on. Here's a shot to the shortstop. Can he get the play? Yes! Backhand flip.
And according to the forecast, is supposed to be like this all week. Speaking of wind, oh boy!
Say goodbye to that one. Noah Bear.
Check, nope, didn't go, and called third. Maintenance is in charge of the diamond, and he does a wonderful job. And he and his crew, another called
College World Series.
Most likely, you're right. It's a hard shot past the shortstop into center field, rounding second. And, whoa, 321 average. Ooh, missed it swing. It got past the catcher. Pass ball is going to get the run home, and it'll be a drop third strike as well.
It is the
right into right field as both runners were moving. That one he sliced into left, but into the glove of the left fielder, who makes the catch and then slips and falls. And seen a couple of balls go out so far in the tournament. Runner goes, throw down, and he hangs on.
Here's a swing and a shot up the middle. Ball scooped by the shortstop. Cleveland on it. White 5th in the country in steals. Here's a swing and a line drive shot to left center field. Ewing, long run. He tracks it down. Our pitcher. And he gets it. Got him for strike. Throwing here in the 9th inning to Ryan Arie. Here's a swing and a shot to left field. Going back it over. Taylor reaching up and makes the catch right at the end.
Kind of blowing that cool breeze into the press box area.
Swing and a miss to end the place setter for this Jet squad. Here's a pitch on the outside corner. And he strikes.
As well as the Division I and Division III World Series.
Pitch in there for strike 3.
A little more adrenaline pumping, I think, for this young man tonight on the hill.
Here's a swing and a shot up the middle. Base hit will score a run off the bat of Donaldson. Payoff pitch. Swung on. Here's a line drive shot past the first baseman over his head. Tournament. Here's a swing and a shot past the third baseman into left field. A run will score, and it's 2-1. Cleveland gets the job done. The bump. Gets a sign from his catcher McKay. Kicks and fires right down the pipe. 86-mile-an-hour heat. Here's a swing and a chopper to short. Picked up by Cleveland. He throws to second, on to first, and a 6-4. 3-2. Breaking pitch, swing and a miss. Hit a home run in the playoffs. 2-2 pitch, breaking ball on the outside corner, froze him, and struck him out. An RBI triple.
And he smoked it, too. High bouncer over the head of the pitcher. It'll go to the shortstop. Will throw to first in time, but the run will score. And just take the speed off the pitch. Doesn't. Goes right back to a fastball on the outside low corner. Fastball drilled. Shortstop with a backhand flip to second to first for the double play. Really nice. Neely down to third base now, 90 feet away. Wolfley. Ground ball again towards Cleveland. Picks it up, scoop, long throw to first. Dug out of there to go. Still throwing that kind of sidearm. Swing and a miss. That is a nice pitch
Fourth in the nation in steals. Here's a swing and a base hit up the middle with the runner going. Jordan rounds at second base, heads for third as the ball is brought in by
Style of things to unfold.
Swing and a miss by Alessi on a pitch just outside.
Always have a special on the day.
Pitch over the head as Jordan attempts and does now steal second base.
I saw 80 and 90 before, but man, when you start to put them up like that. Popped up into the outfield. It's going to get down. Diving attempt made by Lyman. Can't get there. That will score the run.
Top of Pasco Hernando State. And it'll be Michael Haydick leading off against Reed Reynolds. Move that mound around or take it off. Playing softball.
Grounded towards the right side. It'll get through the hole, and Ewing will start. How this tournament works, the way they've set it up over the last couple of years. First pitch swinging deep left field, and that ball's out of here. Right over the mark at about 368 on taking care of the field.
The headache of scheduling.
Bunted long distance, and the pitcher tries to snag it. Roar with a backhand. Swing and a miss, wild pitch. Going to go all the way to the backstop. Runner's going to slide in safely.
And some of the catchers that don't make it, probably a good idea. The coach calls the signals.
Sure, yeah. Well, that's true. Like I said, if you don't understand. Runner at first and the runner at second move to third, and runner at third move to home. Here's another wild pitch. And now it is a bases loaded. Lifted into left field. Wind blowing that one. Still blowing that one. Still blowing. It's gone. Grand slam. Fastball swung on. Diving attempt made by Cassos. Knocks it into left field. You need all of the runs you can get. Swung on, popped up left side. Everybody giving chase. Left fielder coming hard. Oh, and over the top of his shortstop, he falls. Taylor over Cleveland.
He worked from the stretch. Runners at first and second. Here's a swing and a chopper right side off the glove of the second baseman, Jordan. Gets a sign from his catcher, Harper. And a pitch. Breaking ball, swing and a miss. He struck him out. 3-2 pitch, inside corner, got him looking for strike.
Will them a win.
Next pitch, right back to Lee. He's going to go home for the fourth.